everybody. Welcome to Love, Life, and Marriage with the Woods. They didn't know about that. I'm Saiko.
And I'm Sharon.
And welcome to our channel. Hey, listen, before we get started, do us a favor. Like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell on the screen at the bottom of the video to be alert of all the videos that we put on our channel. And also, if you'd like to contact us, we'll leave that information at the beginning, as we do now, and at the end of the video, SaikoWoods@yahoo.com. And for the missus,
contact me through my Facebook inbox, please.
But you gotta put the email on there, because our producer puts your email on there, so you can just tell them the email, please.
Do I have to? I don't
VLB.
S Renee RENA Woods 36@yahoo.com. But inbox me on Facebook because I don't answer emails.
See how hard it is sometimes when that E spirit rises up, don't want to submit, but you know that's how we do it. Love, life, and marriage with the Woods. Petty. And I have some kids in the background cheering, and these two are ours as well.
What up?
Yeah, so you see how this goes. You already know what this is going to be, ladies and gentlemen. So my oldest is above me, and my second oldest is to the right of me, above the missus. And so we are going to discuss a very important topic, very engaging. And so we want to talk about today, my sons have two moms. And so with that, as you already know in earlier videos, we had talked about my wife and I, we have 4 girls from our marriage, but I have a total of 6 children, 2 boys, 4 girls. And with that, 2 different households, actually 3 different households. But I wanted to have my adult sons to join us in this topic and in this discussion today, because I want to talk about a topic that I believe that affects a lot of people. And since we want to deal with this issue unscripted, then what better way to do that than to have those that have been a part and have been affected by this issue regarding single parent homes, fathers that may not have been in the home, may have been a part of their lives and things like that. So I want to introduce my sons to you. The oldest is
Kier Woods.
Can you speak a little bit louder? You're not bad.
Kier Woods.
Thank you. Are you in court?
You
son, Kier Woods. And then my second oldest,
Jay Bizzle. Psych. Jamari Woods.
Y'all pray for me. This has been my struggle since he had been born. Okay, but he's here. So you already know what this video is going to be about. It's going to be some laughing and everything, but look, I'm glad to have my sons here. And it's not too many times that, I'm able to have my boys with me, but we're glad to have them here. If you don't know about this individual, and I'm going to put this video, and I'm gonna add this video in our channel and in this particular episode, because if you don't remember this young man, this young man went viral a few years ago. Went viral a few years ago by paying for dinner for the entire Woods family.
We didn't take it back. Oh man.
You need some help, son?
I'm good. It's just. Woo. I love y'all too.
He's looking at this account right now.
Look, let me minus this out. What I got? Got some gas to get back home.
I'm good.
Yeah, you kind of weak, aren't you?
I'm good. All right. We all had fun, didn't we?
Why don't you show it to Jamar? Just show it to Jamar.
I ain't gonna lie. We all be chipping in. Boy, that's a chick.
Anyway, listen, boys, appreciate you guys. Glad to have y'all here. We want to talk about this topic regarding the black family. So I was reading an article, and before we began the show, I read the article called "The Black Family Structure in Decline Since the 1960s: The Home Effect." And the writer of this article, their name is Marquita L. Johnson. And when one of the points that she mentioned was this. She said, according to the data center of kidscount.org, research shows that in 2015, 66%, so that is 6,333,000 African American kids were parented by a single parent. That's a lot. That's a lot of kids. She says that also, another main point was, according to the Census Bureau from 1960 and 2013, African American children who lived in single parent homes more than doubled from 22% to 55%. The same research showed that white children from single parent homes tripled from 7% to 22%. And so, again, for me, my sons, they know I love them, and they know that both of them were raised in two separate homes, but same dad. And that's my grandson downstairs from this man right here. He's a married man, has a family himself as well. So if you hear a little bit of noise, that's my grandson. Love him to death. So don't worry about that. We're good to go. Unscripted, right? Very much so. Yeah, very much so. Yeah. So if you hear a little scream, a little squealing, that's gonna be the grandson. But anyway, listen. So, boys, I want to talk about this. Let's discuss this. Kia, let's start with you. Okay. All right. And this is an honest discussion.
Yeah.
The missus is right here. Talk about when you first met your mom, Sharon. What was your first impression when you met her?
I mean, I really didn't know what to think at the time. Like,
how old were you?
Oh my gosh, what was I like?
You were 6, I
6 or 7, maybe.
Yeah.
Whenever. And I mean, first time I met her, obviously I didn't feel like a connection because I didn't know who she was. I just knew that she was gonna be my stepmom. So, and then at that age too, I mean, really don't have a lot to. You can't really think about a lot of stuff at that point. You really don't. I guess really think about it. But I mean, it was just kind of weird at first because I was like, okay, like I have a mom back at home,
Yeah,
so,
right.
Like I already have a mom. Like what's going on here? So, having to get used to, saying mom to someone else. Oh gosh.
Lord have mercy. This is what we're dealing with today. Continue.
But anyways, having to get used to, telling someone else mom is kind of weird. But, over the years, I got used to it, and now it's not a big deal at all. I mean, she is my mom, so it doesn't bother me.
Okay. Jerome, what about you, sir? First impression of your moms?
Well, he was even younger.
I don't even know.
You don't even know? Were you there?
It's like, by the way, excuse my ebonics. I am the
I'm not
Ghetto.
I'm not even.
Yes, I'm the infinite child, so I'm pretty wrong. So my words may come out very skewed, but nevertheless, I don't remember first time meeting her.
You were only 30.
Yeah, I was young, but I have memories from when I was able to understand and articulate what was actually going on. I remember she had a burgundy Saturn. No, it wasn't Saturn. Okay,
It wasn't me.
What was it?
No.
Dude, could you please not do that?
Okay.
That could be another show.
No, she had.
She looking at me, it ain't me.
Yeah, she's like, hold on, you got something funny to do.
Yeah, really.
They don't make them no more. It was
I mean,
she had a burgundy car, Grand Prix. She had Grand Prix. And,
Grand Prix, yeah, but it was great.
It was Grand Prix, and
It wasn't burgundy.
it was. Well, like I said, I don't remember a lot of stuff.
You just don't remember the car she drove.
But
Right.
But I remember when I was young, we used to ride, and one of her favorite songs was "I Don't Want No Scrubs," and we sung that song all the way down the tollway, all the way to
TLC.
The first house.
I don't remember that.
Magnolia Springs. I remember Memorial. I remember that. Grand Prix.
Yep.
And I remember moments, but I don't remember the first encounter.
What made y'all decide to call her mom?
You want to go first?
You might go first.
All right. I say for me, I've always been like a person to make people feel comfortable, and me being so young, I already didn't know much, but I knew that they were permanent. Is wasn't gonna change. And so I already kind of felt weird about the situation. Like, okay, I got a mom at home, like my brother said, now I have another one. So I didn't want to be disrespectful by calling her at that time Miss Sharon, or it just didn't feel right. So I started saying mom, which that still felt awkward because I say mama because I'm ghetto. So I don't know. I just kind of just try to make everything seem less weird at that age. So that's what made me start saying.
I guess mine was more of like a respect thing. It's kind of funny because, well, I'm gonna say, but like,
go ahead, say it. That's what be real. Go ahead. It's unscripted. It's already out there now.
So, like in movies, like with white kids, it's like, oh, I'm not gonna call you mom. Like, like I knew that wasn't an option.
Right.
So,
okay.
I mean, for me, it was just kind of more of like a respect thing. I was like, technically she is my stepmom, so I'm just gonna call her that. Like, to me, it really wasn't like a big deal. It was just something that I kind of had to get used to saying. And I think a couple of times I did catch myself saying Miss Sharon, and then they're like, that's your stepmom. Like, okay, yeah, you're right. Like, that's my stepmom. So, but I mean, yeah, it wasn't a big deal to call her stepmom, really. Something I had to get used to.
How does she treat you? I mean, we've been together 20 years, so, but what was how are your feelings toward your mom here?
It was good. I mean, except for one time she had let me down with cereal.
I guess you're gonna explain it now since the view was
Sorry,
like,
Mom, you remember when you had to take me to summer camp and Dad was already at work?
Yeah.
And you had asked me if I had any cereal, and I said
You
yes.
lied and said
you were
yeah.
like, how you eat cereal if there's no milk? And I was like, I don't know. And you were just like, I'm gonna tell your dad, right? So
Oh, Lord.
that was the only time I kind of felt a little betrayed. I thought she was gonna have my back.
betrayed. I was gonna say betrayed.
But
betrayed.
All jokes aside, like, I mean.
No, she's still talking about that to this day.
Yeah.
She's always treated me with love. Like, there hasn't been any awkward moments or anything like that. So, I mean, I think she treated me just like as if I was her, actual son. Like, well, I am her son, but
Yeah, I guess.
biologically.
Yeah. Jamar, what about you, sir?
I was around a whole lot more than my big brother.
Yeah.
But I stayed in the state, well, in the
City.
city, rather.
Yeah.
So a lot of our encounters were more frequent. So I would say, like, for me, I wouldn't say we actually had like bad moments or anything like that, but I think with me growing up and being around more frequently, I've seen ups and downs. Like, I've seen them both have to adapt to being parents. Whereas my brother, he came around in the summertime and his visits were very, very seldom.
Yeah.
So when he come around, maybe everything was, homesteaded.
Right.
So with me, I wouldn't say we've actually had bad moments. There's been, I think, awkward moments. Like, it's been times where I felt like I don't know what to say or how I should say certain things, but I don't want to, come off disrespectful or be too much like myself because I didn't know how that would be perceived with me being so young. So I think it was on her end. I don't think there was ever a time where I can recall her just making me feel isolated.
Okay.
But there have been moments where I think subconsciously I did feel isolated because of the situation.
Okay. As a kid, as a young kid. Okay. I guess so. One of the questions I want to ask you all, actually too. So, you two basically were taught how to drive. Moments where now I'm able to try to teach your sisters how to drive. I miss those moments with you two guys. Right. And so those are moments that I would never get back because of the relationships that I did not have with the mothers. And those I'm saying mothers, plural, for those who know, because they should know because we've already discussed this before. But I want to share our experience because I believe there's somebody that's out there that have a similar experience as we do. And there were some rough times. We had baby mama issues. We had those situations where now we can look back on it and learn from it. But when you were in the heat of it and the thick of it, it was very difficult and very, somewhat hard to deal with. So what are some things that you guys missed that you wished I was able to be there, but wasn't, that, maybe still affect or you were able to understand now that you are adults, but at the time when you were, young, you struggled with that?
For me, like, I wouldn't say that it really like affected me like in a negative way, but it was definitely stuff that I missed. Like, I wish that I did have you there. With me, I was definitely involved in sports all the time, especially in soccer. So I was always traveling to multiple places and stuff like that. And so having to travel with another dad and his son,
right,
and that be a regular occurrence, I never looked at them and was jealous of them or anything like that, but it was just like, man, like, I wish I kind of had that, like, have my dad come to soccer tournaments or games with me, because that's just a bond that you want to have, but again, like, it didn't affect me in a way to where like I rebelled or was upset about it. I mean, I knew the situation. I knew that my parents were were split up, so it is what it is. But it was just stuff like, I wish I kind of had that presence. Just sporting events, or just talking about certain things. Dad and son talk. That, there's a lot of talk that you want to have with your dad. But it's just stuff like that. But again, like, it wasn't anything that I was upset or check out on anyone. It's just because I knew the situation, and I kind of accepted it for what it was. But it's just stuff like that. Like, like, I wish I kind of did have those opportunities.
Okay. Jerron, what about you?
My answer is a little bit opposite of his.
Okay. Because of the distance, because you were.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
And we're real quick. So Kiera, let the audience know basically the distance that we had from.
So I lived in Midland, which is West Texas, and obviously you live here in Houston, so that's about a 7-hour drive.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really.
6 if your mom is driving. 5.5 if she ain't looking for the popo. But anyway, I'm sorry.
So the opportunities to be around on a regular basis was pretty much non-existent, because you kind of had to plan ahead of time, which is kind of where it was. My business was more seasonal, just due to whether it was financially couldn't do it or stuff like that. So we just kind of had to fit it in wherever we had the opportunity to. So we live 7 hours apart. So again, that was the reason why I understood that obviously he can't be here. Like, he has a family back in Houston too. They just take care of us well. But it was something that I accepted. It wasn't something that I really was like, wow, I cannot believe he's not here for me.
Did you remember me explaining why I couldn't when I really wanted to? So that way, the communication. I guess at the age where I believe that you were able to understand. I guess
vaguely remember it.
Okay.
And I just remember that, obviously back then, I know that the relationship with my mom and together, it wasn't really all that good. So, and I know at that age, that wasn't something that you guys really wanted to really explain to me in depth, because probably y'all knew that I wouldn't really understand it at that point in time.
Yeah.
But I just knew that y'all were split up, y'all really didn't get along, and I know that y'all really butted heads about a lot of stuff. So that's kind of why things really didn't happen, or that either planned or wanted to happen.
Yeah. All right, Jamon, what about you, sir?
So my answer is different than his, strictly because we stayed in close proximity. So my dad was a lot more prevalent with me because he was able to be around. Again, I would go over every other weekend. We can talk on the phone, stuff like that. So I can't really just say there were many moments that we didn't have together. Now, I will say there were moments that I wish we could have had. Right. And growing up, it did kind of rub me the wrong way. I've always been the quote-unquote rebel child. So I was the one that would act out whenever I was feeling some type of way. So I believe that until I got to the age where I was able to actually understand, like, hey, this is how it is, deal with it. I began to change my ways. But I think that for a while, it kind of did affect me because I was like, well, dang, we so close. And some moments that I did want us to have that type of father-son relationship, it was like, why is it not there? We, 10 minutes away. Yeah. Type situation. But I understood now, it's just what happens in life. So I think for anybody who's listening who may be going through this, I would say if you are, especially a young adult, a male, I'll speak to you first. Accept your parents for who they are and not who you want them to be. Because I feel as though with me, I had to learn how to accept what was given to me and not expect so much the way I would let myself down. And when you over anticipate too much, or when you over expect something from someone without you actually telling them,
right,
you put yourself at a disadvantage and also them.
Yeah.
So that's my answer.
Good point. Good point. Dear, what you want some, any thoughts? Anything you want to add? 'Cause I know I'm talking to the boys, but you're sitting right here as well too. So I just wanted to get your thoughts on some things.
There were. I was trying to think back to probably our kind of first interactions with the boys.
Okay.
So I know Kier came down one summer, spent the summer with us. He went to summer camp. I had to take him to camp, and I remember that.
Yep.
And he just reminded us about the cereal incident.
Yep.
Which is funny now.
Yeah.
And like Jamari said, he was with us every other weekend.
Right.
And we laugh about this now, but even before we were married, us, us.
I was like, I know you're about to cry.
That's gonna be over.
Us, before we were married, we talked about, I think in the last video, how I would prepare him for bed and get him ready for bed before you got home from work.
Right.
And yes, I used to give you a bath.
Yeah, she used to give you baths, dude.
I used to give him a bath.
Yeah, she did. Sure
and
did.
get him ready for bed.
Yep.
Before you got home from work.
Yeah.
Those are some of the new and fresher times, when we were just getting to know each other. And I would sing to him when I put him in the tub.
You did all that?
Is your voice the same as it is now, or? Because I probably went to sleep a whole lot quicker. Like, all right, it's done.
What are you trying to say?
Yeah, I was like, jeez.
Yeah, I do not know how to sing.
Oh
but
my
anyway,
gosh.
that's beside the point.
Man. Okay, so we talked about, the factors of where there were some moments in y'all's life that I wasn't there. How important do you believe it is to have fathers in the home? Because as you read the report, most black families, they're raised by single women. But years ago, decades ago, it wasn't like that. I mean, you had it to where the black family was more intact and they were under more oppressed situations than we are today, but the man was in the home. Yeah. And it seemed that it had taken more of an effect positively when you had the father in the home. It was less crime, it was less behavior issues, it was less psychological issues and things like that. So as young black men, what would be your advice or your perspective? How important is it to have a man in the home? And I'll say this, I'll be the first one to tell you right now. Ladies, love you to death, but God didn't never intend for you to raise children by yourself. That's why it is important to have both mother and father in the home, and especially if you're having young boys.
Yeah, I was just about to say
but
that.
I make no apologies for that, but I wanted to get y'all's thoughts on that because y'all were raised, basically by your mothers, but y'all are young men, and by God's grace, even though I wasn't presently in the home, there was some interaction, there was some, communication, like you said, because of the proximity of my youngest son and I was able to interact and be in his life more than I would be with my oldest son because of the distance. But the communication had always been there, but may not have been as what I desired it to be as an everyday in the house scenario. So, Kia, I'll start with you. I'll start with you first, and then Jamari, you can take up the rear.
I definitely think it's very important to have a father in the household, and I think that it kind of shows when you do have a boy or young man that's brought up with his father on a regular basis as opposed to not. I feel like for someone who, primarily was raised by a single mom, kids like that in a situation, they kind of are more into their emotions. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's just kind of like you don't really know how to control some of your emotions sometimes. Like you don't have another male figure that's kind of guiding you.
Yeah.
And I know that it's predominantly within the black community, but I think it's just for any race. I mean, I've seen some of my friends who are white that have single parents as well, and they lash out on their parents. I've never been that person, but I've seen it from certain friends who are white and single parents, and you can tell that, you know, obviously they're not going to show it, but they definitely lashed out at their mom. Right. They definitely disobeyed. And we're always wanting to get in trouble, I guess, to kind of get attention. But, you know, it definitely does show. I can only speak for myself on it. With me, I know that I never had that issue, but I did notice it. But I do feel like it's very important to have a father in the household. I think it makes a huge difference.
Gotcha.
Of course, I'm gonna agree. I think that it is detrimental if you don't have it, because you run the risk of running into so many obstacles that could have been avoided had there been a father in the home. With me being newly married, having a 1-year-old son, I pride myself on making sure that I can be with my wife and with my son. I'm not going to allow anything, anyone, or any circumstance to come in between my first ministry, which is home. So, and like my brother said, and like everybody else has said, you definitely do see the after effects of not having a father in the home, and the pros of having a father in the home. You talk about attitude, you talk about performance in school, if you talk about athleticism, if you talk about just the mannerisms that a young man would have growing up to be a man. A lot of that stuff is instilled by having a steady and present father in the home. So I would say that yes, the father be in the home against all odds, against everything else. Be there with your kids, because that's important, very important.
Right. I would say this as well, and I echo everything that everybody else said. I think that the enemy does his best damage when the head is missing. When the head is out, pretty much the family, the body falls apart. And so you see the agenda that is basically plaguing our communities, or just the family as a whole, where you take the father out. You see how it affects the children. You see how it affects the person who has to raise the children, which is primarily the mother. And so what my son just said, it is vital. It is hugely important to have fathers to be a part of your children. And regardless of whether or not you and the mother get along, those children are the ones that you had brought into this world, and so they should not be the pawns on either side of that relationship. And I would also say this and wrap this part of this up, because I think there's going to be a part 2. Yeah, it's going to be a part 2. Because I would say this, when you have children, then you don't want them to have to choose whose parent or which parent they're going to want to be with, or whose side they're going to have to choose to support or stand for. You don't put them in that position, in that situation. That's manipulative. And so, as much as you possibly can, if you're not able to work it out with the mother or with the father, those children are the ones that you swore to take care of and that you brought into this world, and they deserve the best that we can give them. And so we're talking to the men here. So I want to continue this on part 2 of this video. We're going to wrap up this session here in this episode. So if you would like to hear it from us, or we would like to hear from you rather. You have questions, if you have any thoughts about this particular episode, what are your thoughts about the importance of fathers in the home? What is your thoughts about custody and issues like that? What are your thoughts about the report that we just read earlier at the beginning of this episode? Leave your comments at the bottom of the video. Again, you can reach out to me, SaikoWoods at yahoo.com. And for the missus, once again,
S. Renee Woods, RENA Woods 36 at yahoo.com, or just inbox me on Facebook.
Or just inbox. Again, like, subscribe, share the video, hit the notification bell on the screen, and we're going to pick this up on the next episode. So until then,
Part 2.
See you later. Bye.